In this video, I'm going to tell you about 6 fantastic TV shows that you should watch. Hey, it's me AP and welcome back to another video. So, TV shows, fantastic TV shows. It's a very big, fantastic word to use, I suppose, isn't it? But I'm a big TV show fan. I like movies as well, but I like my TV shows. I like getting a big TV box set and just watching it all the way through and just having a great time while watching it. But there's a bunch here that I want to talk about in this video today that I really do enjoy, and ones that I continuously go back to and watch over and over again and have watched many times. And I really enjoy these ones I'm going to talk about today, and I thought it would be really cool to do a video about it, as always, discuss why I like these shows so much and why I think that you, the audience out there, should watch it or should watch some of these shows as well. I'm getting tongue-tied here because I'm so excited about talking about fantastic TV shows. So let's rock and roll. Let's talk about some fantastic TV shows you should watch. So the first show I want to talk about is Fringe. Now, Fringe is a show that sort of came out around the time of Lost, or maybe a year or two after Lost, I believe. And it was something that sort of I heard about, and then I seen adverts over here in the UK on like Sky One, and it looked cool, but I initially didn't get around to watching it. To describe this show, first of all, it is very much like a sci-fi show. It's very much like an X-Files, Twin Peaks sort of style show. Very sci-fi in genre, but the show is just a phenomenal TV show all the way through. Every TV show, every series, every season of Fringe, I enjoy. The characters in it are fantastic, from Olivia to Peter to Walter, the mad scientist Walter, who you grow to love and as a character. And there's such a great mythology within the show of Fringe that you come to recognise throughout all this show. And I don't want to give too much away, and it's too hard to give too much away because it's such a detailed show, but there's to give you something of the show, there's like parallel universes, monsters, weird Fringe-like events going on throughout all the seasons in this show. It is just a great sci-fi show to watch. It's again, when it come out, I seen the trailers and the previews on TV, and I thought this looks like something I would enjoy. I like sci-fi. I didn't get around to watching it when it first came out, but then I caught on maybe season 3 in. I started watching it then, and then from that point forward, I was watching them all as soon as they came out, the episodes. I really enjoyed it. It is a great show. Great show. If you're into sci-fi, I would most definitely recommend checking out Fringe, because it's just one of those shows that for me is timeless. It is a fantastic TV show that you should watch. The next show I want to talk about is Sharpe, starring Sean Bean. Sean Bean, for me, this is what made Sean Bean the actor he is today. This is a show he is known for, Sharpe. And Sharpe, basically each one is like a war movie within, and it's based within the battles of Waterloo, very much in that time period, and it goes through Sharpe just become this normal standard sort of army guy, to then he saves one of the high-ranking officers. I can't remember his name now. It's going to escape me the name, but he saves one of the high-ranking officers, and then he gets made a captain initially, or some other high-ranking officer type. But he's sort of from this working-class background, is Sharpe, and then he goes on to get his own sort of soldiers beneath him, and he gets his own little group, his rifles, and then you just see his character develop from this sort of this rookie soldier to this great leader over this massive show. And it spanned years, this show, and each one felt like a movie. It was all on ITV over here in the UK. But as I said, I feel like this is a show that really did make Sean Bean and give him this sort of the platform to all the great acting performances he's given us ever since Sharpe, with Lord of the Rings, James Bond, National Treasure, many more movies as well. I really like Sean Bean. I really like Sharpe. If you're into sort of like swords and rifles, and very much like old school wars, battles of Waterloo, Napoleon. This will be right up your street. It's a great show. It's not so much a Game of Thrones, but it is a more like a realistic TV show, a more realistic show on war history. So it is a great show, and Sean Bean is fantastic in it, and I would definitely recommend watching it. The next TV show I want to discuss is 30 Rock. Now, 30 Rock for me is one of my most favourite comedy shows of all time. I remember buying this box set probably, it must be over 5 years ago now. It's probably maybe like 10 years ago, something like that. Maybe 5 or 10 years ago. I bought the box set, the complete box set, and it was just, I seen it on Amazon. It was a good deal at the time, and I thought, I've heard of this, but I've never watched it. And I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I like American shows like The Office. I like a lot of the old classic shows like Frasier. Why not give this American show a try? Because it was a decent offer on Amazon, and it worked out to be a really good purchase because I have really enjoyed watching 30 Rock over the years. I've watched it tons of times over the years, 30 Rock. It's just a show I can always go back to and always enjoy. I think it is the best sitcom of all time for me. For me, I know that's a big statement there. I think it is. That's my opinion. I think it is the best sitcom of all time. 30 Rock, starring Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin. It's basically, you've got SNL, Saturday Night Live in America, and it's a big show in America. We all know what SNL is, I'm sure. This is basically the take on what SNL is and what happens behind the scenes at 30 Rock Studios. And we see like Tina Fey is a writer on the show. It starts off the Girly Show, and then it goes to the Tracy Jordan show, and it is a fantastic comedy show. Each show is just, the humor is just like joke after joke after joke. Great storylines throughout it all. It's not a serious show. It's a all out comedy. Each episode all out comedy, and wow, they're just amazing. And I suppose one of the standout characters on 30 Rock is Kenneth on it. I think his character is Kenneth. Yes, I think his character is really funny on that show. I really enjoy it. And look, it is a show. If you've never watched 30 Rock, if you are into comedy, this is a show you've got to watch, because it is a show that will just make you laugh. It'll just make you laugh into a complete frenzy. The next TV show I want to talk about is The Adventures of Tintin. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you'll know I'm a fan of the Tintin animated movie that came out a few years ago, that was created by Steven Spielberg and Peter Jackson. Big fan of that movie. But before that, we had the Tintin books, and we had the TV animated show, the cartoon. And this is a show I've grown to really enjoy over the years, and I bought it. I bought the DVD box set, and I thought, let's see what it's like, because I'd watched the film at the time, and then I invested in getting this cartoon box set of all the cartoon episodes. Started watching it, and it's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Beautiful animation, beautiful cartoon animation. I would say it's definitely cartoon drawn animation. By looking at it, you can definitely tell. Classic animation style, cartoon animation style. They're really good adaptations of what the books are. This is something that came after the books, and the books are great. I really enjoy the books, but these are just really good, like 20-30 minute episodes each one. Really good just to put on, just something to chill out to relax to. And that's what I find. I find these sort of, the Tintin episodes, I always put them on before I go to bed. And there's something I can really relax to, and the stories are really, for a cartoon animation, they're really detailed, but they're really just, something not too heavy, but there's enough adventure and detail in there for you to enjoy and really get gripped to at the same time, but you don't feel like you have to be like zoomed in to watch it. It is a really good show. If you've enjoyed any type of the media from the Tintin brand previously, if you've enjoyed the books, And if you enjoyed the movie, I would most definitely recommend checking out the Adventures of Tintin TV show. So another one of my obsessions in life is Captain Scarlet, and a show that I really would recommend watching is the Captain Scarlet reboot show. It's called Captain Scarlet by Gerry Anderson. This was released a few years ago by ITV Studios, and it is a reboot of the classic Captain Scarlet show, like the old puppet show. It's a sort of like the similar origin, but it is all rebooted really, and it's really fantastic. Different animation. Obviously, it's different style rather than puppets. It is animation. The animation style is very similar to the Star Wars Rebels and the Star Wars Clone Wars TV shows. I probably wouldn't say it is exactly the same caliber of animation. It's probably maybe a few notches below that, but I think the story for me makes up for it, and the story of Captain Scarlet and Spectrum, Captain Black, his nemesis, friend to nemesis, and the Mysterons. It just all adds up to a really good sci-fi show, and for me, this is what it is. Captain Scarlet is sort of like the dark sci-fi version of what Thunderbirds is, and we have the new Thunderbirds animated shows now. This is the sort of, for me, the dark version, and it's a very more gritty show than what Thunderbirds is. So if you're into sci-fi, and if you maybe like what the Thunderbirds has done, but you want something a bit darker, I would definitely recommend, I'd recommend the old Captain Scarlet show first of all, but I think the new one, for newer viewers, for younger viewers, may be more appealing, and I think it is really worth the watch. The last show I want to recommend today on my list of fantastic TV shows is Lost. Now, Lost is probably up there with Fringe, being one of my favourite TV shows of all time. And I'm not going to say it's not got its faults. Sure, Lost has its faults, and the ending for Lost wasn't maybe what we all wanted, but I always say to myself, what else could we have had instead of that ending to Lost? And for me, I don't know what else I could really say would have worked better. I'm sure there was something that could have worked better, but for me, I don't know what it could be. But again, very, very similar to Fringe that I mentioned previously, the mythology of Lost is why I enjoy that show. We've got this show, a plane arrives on this mysterious island, and it surely is the most mysterious island ever. We see loads of weird events happen to the survivors of this plane crash over the many seasons of Lost, and it is the mythology that really I enjoy. The Dharma Initiative, we see the characters develop, and we see the links with the Dharma Initiative over this show as well. The show for me is just creatively a masterpiece. Just like the storylines on it, some of the storylines were really fantastic. I mean, I think, for example, like Desmond, his story when he was doing the time traveling, and then I think it was one episode in particular, he was doing a load of time traveling, was great. The stuff with John Locke, I mean, the first moment when John Locke says, we hunt, and he throws the knife. He was always a standout character for me, John Locke, and I mean Faraday as well. Daniel Faraday, he was a great show character. I really liked him over the years. He turned out to be a surprising addition that I didn't know whether I'd like initially, but I really liked Faraday. But yeah, it's a great, really good show. It's not really a sci-fi show. I'd say it's more like in the realm of sort of realism and fantasy mixed together. And I suppose there is some form of sci-fi elements in, but it's not like a heavy sci-fi elements as in with Fringe. But it is a show of mystery, and that is what I like about Lost. And even watching it back, I've watched it back a few times since the original release, and just seeing the mystery and seeing the hatch as well. Oh wow, that hatch, when they go into that hatch for the first time, and we see the light. Or when they see the light go up, shine up, it was just a fantastic moment to watch, and it was TV history. I remember when that show first launched, and the papers, it was all in the papers, and you don't get that with TV shows now. Really, it's very, very weird to imagine that. And it was it felt like a big change in TV at the time, and I feel like it did change the way we all perceive what TV is now. And it is a fantastic show, and I would really recommend, if you've not already watched Lost, to give it a try, because I think it gets a thumbs up with me. Definitely thumbs up all the time, Lost does. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of my other movie related videos as well. And let me know, what do you think of my picks today? Do you think my picks are fantastic TV shows, or do you think they get a thumbs down? Let me know your thoughts, and let me know what TV shows you enjoy and what TV shows you would recommend to watch. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.